Hi, my name is Nathan, and today we're going to do a full comic book review of Vampirella Vs Purgatori, issues number 1 through 5. Timestamps are in the description if you want to just skip to another issue, and also, if this is your first time here, consider subscribing. And at the end of the video, if you want to add Vampirella Vs Purgatori to your comic book collection, link will be in the description if you want to add any of the issues, standard covers, or variants to your collection. With that being said, let's get to it. We begin the story with Lilith and this octopus girl in Lilith's lair. And the octopus girl tells Lilith, I've made a year-long sacrifice ritual and made many sacrifices in your glory, Lilith. And Lilith is intrigued because, you know, there's an ancient legend that 36 truly good people live in this world at any time. You take away one, Lilith, essentially you take over the world. And this intrigues Lilith, like, you corrupt one, you corrupt all. I like it. Meanwhile, 800 miles away, we see Vampirella, fighting a ghost. And the ghost says, ha, Vampirella, I'm half air. And Vampirella's like, that's half. What about the other half? And she puts the ghost under the spell. And under that spell, the ghost leads Vampirella to Purgatory. And where they meet this woman in Purgatory, and Vampirella have this dialogue of what's going on. I think, they know something's going on, and they have to take this woman that this ghost led Vampirella to, and they have to partner, so to speak, and they take this woman to this haunted house of this haunted house of Vampirella. And Vampirella tells Purgatory that no, we won't be found here because it's a haunted house. It's protected. It's kind of like the example of you're trying to watch TV. Anyone trying to peek into this house is like trying to watch TV with 4 lunatics screaming at you. So when the woman with the octopus legs pull tries to peep in, she screams, and Lilith is like, you incompetent, like you forgot to disconnect? What's wrong with you? So Vampirella shows up, and turns out there's some history there. That's her mother. Her mother says, hey, do you even know who Purgatory is? I mean, then it shows like a Purgatory biting a woman's neck because she might be going rogue. It's like, okay, they have to work together, but how? At least they have to find a way to work together to foil Lilith's plan. That's pretty much it right there. What do I like about the book? The art. What do I dislike about the book? You give me good art. I mean, there's not much for me to dislike about it. Call me biased or call me honest. Just don't threaten me with a good time. This book starts off with Purgatory in Stockholm, Sweden. And she's looking at this window on the 11th floor. And she's debating with herself, having a conversation with herself. These elementals are dumber than a sack of ugh. What? I'm timing it, and I'm just going to jump in. She jumps through the window with the snowflake on it, attacks the elemental, kills the elemental, speaks with this guy that's in there. His name, he goes by Conrad Hansen, who we just at this point assume that he's one of the 36 purest people in the world, the Sastikin, or I can't even think of the name, what they call him this, but if I say it incorrectly, you let me know. She puts him to sleep. In Atlanta, we see Lilith and Octopus Lady Undyne talking about, wait a minute, we just lost one in Sweden, we just lost another one in New Zealand. This is Sastikin people, the 36 pure people. I'm just gonna call them the 36 purest people in the world. How? Was it Vampirella? Was it Lilith? No, it's her little friend Purgatory. They're reacting too quickly. They're not intercepting my messages, or are they intercepting my messages? Or is someone giving information? Do I have traitors in this house? Lilith tells Undyne, well, continue on with your magic so you can uncover the truth. And if you find out how they're uncovering the truth, don't cut it off. Tell me, and we'll just go on from there. So this is interesting. And then Lilith is viewing this as a game. This is nothing but a game to her. Now we show to Vampirella having a telepathic conversation with Purgatory, and Purgatory is like, okay, don't tell me we're about to have a problem. She tells him, well, Lilith's already captured a few of those people, and I don't like the idea of her having any time to play with them while we're running around grabbing the rest of the people around the world. So Purgatory's like, what do you want to do? And Vampirella tells you keep dealing with, Lilith's minions. I'll see if I can save the captives before she gets her hooks into them. And by the way, I've been meaning to ask you, what happens if one of the 36 innocent people die? She's like, well, if they're uncorrupted, nothing happens. Another one gets born somewhere in its place. Okay, cool. But Vampirella does ask Purgatory, are you killing any of those innocent people just out of no reason at all? And then Purgatory's like, well, is there a reason I shouldn't? Well, girl, if you keep doing that, if you let me put it to you this way, if you're murdering people unnecessarily, then you're next on my hit list. Oh, whatever, mistress. Yes, mistress. Even though they have the same agenda of rescuing the 36 innocent people, or purest people, Purgatory has their own separate agenda. So Vampirella goes to Atlanta in Lilith's home looking for Lilith and Undyne. She gets confronted with the vampire mermaids. She escapes. They try to drown her. She escapes, rips them in half. I thought that was a pretty cool scene. Meanwhile, in Ukraine, Vampirella and Purgatory have a conversation of, okay, well, Lilith and Undyne are not here, so where could they be? And Purgatory says, well, Lilith's agents are on their way to capture another one of their Sadakim, 36 purest people in the world in Montreal. I'll give you directions. Vampirella rightfully gets suspicious and says, how do you know of this? I'm starting to feel like you're manipulating me here, and what's your stake in all this anyway? And Purgatory just responds to her, well, you know, I just ask myself what's next, and then I tell myself the answer. I mean, what the hell? So Vampirella has to play along. She goes to Montreal. She sees these agents of Lilith abducting this guy, who's one of the 36, and takes him to a mansion in Detroit. Meanwhile, when she's there, I'm not going to talk about the events or what happens there, but it does end up with the ultimate cliffhanger. Vampirella is asking Purgatory for help. Purgatory is in Africa, but there's something else at bay here, and we don't know what it can be or what's going to happen here. So I enjoy this book. This book is very easy to catch along, very fun to read, very easy on the eyes too. I'm just curious to see where this story is coming along. What is Purgatory's true intentions behind all this? Lilith is just stringing them along like a puppet, and Vampirella is really trying her hardest. And I just love when you put heroes in this corner of, okay, I'm dealing with one person over here, that's the main threat, but what the hell are you doing? Are you working with Lilith? Are you doing your own thing? What's your agenda behind it? We start off in the beginning of this book in the shadow realm of hell, where Lady Hell is loving her diabolical plan coming together. Lilith is playing her game with the Sadakim, with the 36 innocent purest people in the world. Lilith is so focused on screwing with Vampirella, she hasn't bothered to question Undyne, the octopus lady's source of information. And she's also questioning how Vampirella is getting her information with what to do and where the Sadakim are being held at. I love the rhyme these spellbound skulls say. The answers you seek are answers of woe. Your enemy's friend is your hated foe. Purgatory. So then we see Vampirella going into this house, into this basement, telepathically speaking with Purgatory. And then in this basement, she discovers one of the purest people, the Sadakim, being tempted by these obsessed, hypnotic, I guess you want to call them sex demons or whatnot, trying to corrupt that booty. Now, Vampirella comes in, rescues the day, and puts her to sleep in her hypnotic sleep for her to be calm. Meanwhile, Purgatory is on her way looking for Undyne, the octopus lady, in this house. She knows she's there, but she's discovering she's on her tail. Oh, that rhymed? That didn't intend to rhyme. Meanwhile, Vampirella is at another location looking for another Sadakim. When she gets there, to her discovery, she is appalled at what she sees. Yeah, that's a lot to take in. In comic book, wow. And imagine that in the movie. That's like Hellraiser kind of stuff. Now, Vampirella gives this bat-looking ding a haymaker, punches through his face, rips those leech with teeth off of her legs, and just puts her in a hypnotic state of sleep and puts her to rest. Meanwhile, Purgatory discovers Undyne. They have a battle. It's a battle royale. Girl fight in the sewers. Just put on the mud, their bikinis and everything. Tentacle lady, Undyne, it's time to be undone. Fight ensues. Fight continues. Eventually, Purgatory comes out on top and gives her the fatality, so to speak. But she sees this mirror and she gets summoned into another realm. We'll find out later. Now Vampirella calls out for her mother Lilith, and Lilith's like, yes, darling, do come downstairs and see what I have prepared for you. And as Vampirella approaches, she gets greeted by her mother, Lilith, and she's like, look, you look worse than you sound. You want a drink? And Vampirella's like, no, don't even go there. I'm just gonna disassemble your minions and be done with it. Now, meanwhile, in the Hell realm, Purgatory is there talking to Lady Hell. And Purgatory is like, okay, let's throw down. Let's get down with the get down in this one. And Lady Hell is confident in her plans that she's gonna win with this game that Lilith is playing with the 36 Anakin and see the world just destroy and go up in flames. Now, the ending of the book ends with the ultimate cliffhanger, and it's the ultimate question: did Lilith finally commit to do what she said she was gonna do? To be continued, and that's the end of the book. To be continued. We'll find out. Other than that, the book is a hook, interesting read, easy on the eyes, kind of read too.
Oh, behave. Yeah, baby.
Here we start off with Deep Underground, where we end off with issue number 3 with one of the saddest and one of the purest people in the world. Lilith has finally corrupted one of them, and he is fighting the urge to let this overtake him. Lilith tells Vampirella, you know as well as I what the vampire's thirst does to humans. If the world lives only until this man is corrupted, then it hasn't gotten long at all. And he begs, you gotta help me. Meanwhile, we go to the shadow realm of hell, where we see Purgatory and Lady Hell. And Lady Hell is about to, celebrate her impending victory. But she also questions Purgatory. At every turn, you seem to know exactly where to be, what to do, and you deny me. You can never match me wit for wits. You must be working for somebody. And then Purgatory's like, man, I'm only working for myself, and I've beaten you before, and I'll beat you again. And when she goes in for the attack, Lady Hell's like, girl, this is my place, this is my house, and I will not be denied. Show me your mind. So when she puts her hand on top of her head, then Lady Hell is impressed, like, wow, you feed on memories, you feed on loved ones, and you got a lot of stuff hidden away in there. There are people that you've taken over that are half mortal monsters, demigods. What secrets did you learn from them? Are any of those secrets and tricks that are able to find out that are able to take me down? I got to find out more. We see Vampirella take away the corrupted, or about to be corrupted, and he's still fighting it, and he's fighting the pain and all this. Vampirella tells her, look, I've seen this before. I've seen it 100 times. Even if you try to make up by doing good, the moment you give into it, we lose. If you slip up, even just a little bit, then the whole world goes down. And Vampirella tells him, I'm the only one that actually has the one to strike you down. Meanwhile, Lilith's just like, ugh, did I win? I'm bored. That's what this page is. But as she leaves the scene, we see like a dark creature lurking in the corner and ambushes her with the heat, and he plays his card right away. Damn, Lilith, you're not careful at all. I told Vampirella I'd take you out, but I didn't know it'd be this easy. Aren't vampires like super flammable? And then Lilith off screen says, gosh, I don't know. What? Boom! She does a Kano on him. And she's like, oh. And right away, it's like a very sadistic way of, oh, Vampirella, you're thinking of me after all. Meanwhile, back in the realm of hell, Lady Hell is still still trying to suck up all the information, all the realms of the dead of Purgatory. And she's like, this is interesting. You just don't keep the people in their prisoner. No matter how hard you try to shut them away, they become a part of you. But there is one I need to look for. There is one who knows the future. Where is she? Where is she? And then, as she discovers where that person is, Lady Hell's like, oh my gosh, impossible. I'm gonna leave that one with a cliffhanger. On the other end, we get a touching moment where, the uncorrupted, or who's trying to fight the corruption, the Sadiskin, just saying, having a life reflection of, I'm just a normal person. I don't know what I did to deserve this, and will you hold my hand? And it's a very touching dialogue between Vampirella and this guy right here. Now, Lilith has a scheming way. She knows Vampirella is manipulating her, and she also knows Purgatory is manipulating her. She wants to know what's going on, so she tells Undyne, I know Purgatory is in there with the Lady of Death, Lady Hell. Get me in there unseen so I can implant hypnotic commands. Do it, my love. And Undyne's like, yes, mother. While she's doing it, she's like, why didn't you tell me that we were being manipulated too? Our little game, if we won, Hell would benefit immensely, wouldn't she? From all the countless deaths when I corrupt the innocent who turns dark. Nobody plays me for a fool. Nobody but me wins. Why does it sound like girls today? Like it's all about them, but not about us? Anyways, back to the comic book review. Touching scene right here. Finally, that's what happens to Homeboy. And at the end of it all, Lilith finally, holds a connection while she's telling Purgatory, or in Purgatory with Lady Hell. I will save the rest of this dialogue for when you guys purchase the book, but she's merging her strength with Purgatory, and in the final turning events, this book has turned that off. And it's a cool read, fun read. I had fun reading this book, and I would suggest it as well. I am waiting for a Vampirella vs Purgatori fight. I understand you got to build this up. I'm just waiting for that girl fight. World Star. Well, it ain't World Star time. But anyways, in this last and final issue of this comic book, we begin in this book with 250 years into the future, looking galactic, kind of cool looking. Purgatory, we see future Purgatory saying that she's conquered all or whatever, and I'm the only god left, and I made the world a vampire's playground. But behind future Purgatory, we see Lilith pulling the strings. Now, if you follow the previous issues, which you can check the playlist at the end of the video, link in description, Lilith has this game going on where she thinks she's going to win with all the 36 purest people in the world. When she turns one to a vampire and they all get corrupted, and that one gets corrupted and starts going on a killing spree, she wins. Now back in Detroit, we see Lilith with Undyne trying to use her mind to distract Purgatory and get into Purgatory's mind to see what she is doing. And now in the Shadow Realm, we see Purgatory and Hell going at it. And Purgatory is like, now after all these years, I have you, Hell. The war is over. I win. Now she tries to kill Hell. And then meanwhile, we see Lilith. It was as simple as that. The moment you devoured a god and became one was my moment I used to place my seed and rule deep in your mind and rule this world. See, Hell is thinking when Lilith wins and goes on this killing spree, Hell thinks she's going to have all these souls coming to her realm. But it's just like a twisted game it's just a twisted game that Lilith is playing. And to me, it just looks like she's playing this game because she is just bored. So Hell's like, no, no, and Hell disappears. Like, what the? That wasn't supposed to happen. And even Purgatory admits, future me, you didn't warn me about this. What is going on? So there's these skeletons, these skulls here. The truth we can tell will answer you thrice. All you have to do is pay our price. Purgatory's not having that. Get out of my face with that bull jive. Meanwhile, Undyne is like, I can't tap into where Hell is at because Hell is in the realm of the dead where the sane living cannot follow. I cannot do this. This is too much for me. But Lilith is not having it. And then Vampirella comes in, saves the moment, I guess. But now they have this banter of, what the heck are you doing? Get away from me, Vampirella. Mother's got bigger fish to fry. And Vampirella is not having it. Decks her own mother. How dare you? Mother decks her own daughter. How dare you? Meanwhile, Lilith goes to Undyne and says, find her and tell Purgatory. Vampirella one-ups her mama. It's like, and then Vampirella tells the problem is you were so focused on toying with me because Lilith sent Vampirella on a fool's errand with trying to find all the 36 purest people in the world. Meanwhile, while Lilith had one and tried to corrupt that, see the previous issue on that, Vampirella realized the games that her mother was playing. So meanwhile, Vampirella's like, okay, well look, you're going back and forth trying to do what you're doing, but I had a plan and I took advantage of it. And here's what it was. The plan was this. I gave Salamander a message for Hell. I told him to tell her it was a message from you, and I set him up to be killed by you. See the previous issue. That little idea, that little proposal, whenever you try to corrupt the 36 purest people in the world, if you killed one, it doesn't create anything. It's just another one will go in its place. Therefore, when you turn one into a vampire, they can't go on that killing spree. And in a strange twist of events, Vampirella divulged who the remaining Sadiskin are, the 36 purest people in the world. And if they were killed before any of this would happen, new ones were born, new game will begin, and nobody wins. Lilith won't win because Lilith won't, corrupt one of the 36 purest people in the world. And Hell won't win because no new souls or those souls are going to come to her realm to make her more powerful. And then Purgatory won't win because she can't devour her god. So it was a very twisted deal and a very Very clever, by the way. So we go through the book, more dialogue ensues, and I got to say, hey, the mama and daughter fight was really cool and really out of bounds on this. But with that being said, this issue does open up and end with Purgatory getting her own issue, and hey, you know, looking forward to that. I thought this was cool. This is one of the first issues I was really interested in, 1 through 5, not to disregard the other comics, but sometimes there's just a lot of comic book and a lot of content to go around. So with that being said, thank you for watching the full video. Like I said, if this is your first time here, or if you like the content we're throwing up, consider subscribing at Rated Comics. We do awesome comic book related content with the occasional comic book giveaway, and there will be more full comic book stories coming out in the future. Link in description if you'd like to add any of these comic book issues to your collection. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.